Good morning. My name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach, a life coach, an author, and the host of this show, The Take Your Life Back radio show. Can also be seen as a video version on YouTube under the Take Your Life Back Today show. I wanted to be a hockey player. I was very good at hockey, and this is why this story about Theo Fleury shaking the demons is important. It's been 9 years and 2 weeks since former NHL star Theo Fleury had a drink. It's been almost 11 years from the time he bought a gun in Santa Fe, New Mexico, at a pawn shop. He then drove home, put the barrel in his mouth, and thought about pulling the trigger. He doesn't miss drinking. In fact, he said he doesn't even remember the last drink he had. He no longer has suicidal thoughts. He never even really wanted to kill himself, he said. He just wanted to stop the pain that tormented him each and every single day due to his alcoholism. He doesn't seem to miss the NHL playing days either. Doesn't keep in touch with many of his old hockey buddies. His tight-knit inner circle now includes an Irishman who manages his band. Theo Fleury and the Death Valley Rebels, a Serbian peace officer he met at his son's soccer game, and former AHL tough guy who now works in the drilling business. Distance from his former life has provided him perspective. Fleury, at the age of 46, would be happy if none of these things from the past defined him. He'd be thrilled if, looking back at his life, someone were to remark, "Hey, you know, he was a pretty good hockey player too." I would love that, he says. Fleury told ESPN in a lengthy sit-down interview last week that he wishes that. Hockey was the vehicle and it gave me everything I have, but it was only the first 35 years of my life. I still have 35 years left to live, and I certainly want to make a difference in the next 35 years that I live. Though he leaves behind an indelible legacy on the ice, the former Stanley Cup champion, Olympic gold medalist, Canada Cup winner, and World Junior champion has a new purpose in life. He wants to help, very similar to my story. He wants others to heal. I chose to live my life, every little detail, publicly because I know how many people it's helped. I know how many people I have taken the noose off their neck. I know how many people have put the gun down. How many people have not taken the whole bottle of pills, Fleury said. What I want to encourage people is it's okay to tell your story. This is why I'm so transparent myself, friends. One day you're going to tell your story and it's going to save someone else's life. As much as his 15-year NHL career was first defined by success, amassing 455 goals, 633 assists, and 1,840 penalty minutes as one of the league's most fearless competitors, defying every skeptic who doubted he could make a difference. At 5'6", his life has also been defined by events that transpired before the burst into the scene as a rookie and won a cup in Calgary in '88 and '89. Those events contributed to his wild and well-documented tailspin, leading to a career cut short by drug and alcohol abuse. Fleury grew up in Russell, Manitoba, to a father who struggled with alcoholism and a mother who was addicted to pills. Life wasn't easy, he said, but Fleury found hockey at a young age, a passion so pure and blinding that he never once doubted he'd make it to the NHL. He had faith in that. Though Fleury now identifies his family as the genesis of some of the most deep-seated issues, Fleury says he grew up fearing abandonment, finding himself unlovable, not good enough. It was another particular trauma during his teenage years that compounded matters entirely. Fleury was sexually abused by his junior hockey coach, Ram James, a harrowing experience he detailed in his acclaimed 2000 book, Playing with Fire. It shattered his belief system, his ability to trust others, and it triggered the self-loathing that would fuel his problems for years to come. Very sad. He speaks about abuse now with little emotion or hostility. Though he spoke out against James' lenient sentence in 2012, a judge increased the sentence in 2013 from 2 years to 5 years. Fleury is motivated less by the idea of justice and more by the idea of forgiveness and healing. Amen to that. I've come to the point where I realize what happened to me was actually a gift, Fleury said. My family of origin was actually a gift. Graham James was a gift. Why? It forced me to look at who I am, the true me, and like the guy. I am real. I am me. I am free. I am who I am. Theo Fleury and the Death Valley Rebels Fleury met therapist Kim Barthel at a conference in Winnipeg, Manitoba. She was a keynote speaker on resilience and healing within the First Nations communities who, in light of the cancellation by another speaker, was asked to prolong her presentation. She wasn't a hockey fan. Still isn't. Despite her husband Bob's zealous fandom for the Montreal Canadiens, she remembered seeing Fleury's face on the cover of Playing with Fire and being so put off by his demeanor that she didn't even want to read it. But Fleury sought her out and after she spoke, telling her she had just changed his life and that they needed to work together. The two have since co-authored the book Conversations with the Rattlesnake, raw and honest reflections on healing and trauma, which will be released next month. And by the time I did this video, or I am doing this video, it's probably out. On the surface, the two have virtually nothing in common. The boisterous Fleury is a ball of energy telling stories with gravely Marlboro-studded distinction while interspersing curse words with the same frequency most people use commas. Barthel is a petite blonde who exudes both motherly warmth and chic worldly sophistication. She doesn't battle Fleury for the stage, but she skillfully interjects in the way that disarms him most immediately. Theo Fleury's NHL career started with a splash. But maybe you'd like to share your story. I always tell that to people. Would you feel comfortable talking about the time that has maybe brought you to where you are today? Use his story and my story that I constantly talk about and call me at 844-405-HELP because we can help each other take our lives back. Yesterday, during one of my book signings over at Barnes & Noble here in Virginia, I ran into people that had their stories. As a matter of fact, one or two of them is going to call in for an interview because their stories are real stories. They could possibly be your story just as much as my story can be somebody else's story. Theo Fleury, in this interview on CNN, says it exactly how it is because it is exactly how I feel. I want my story to help other people. I want to help other people. And I will tell you this, my friends, the story will never ever end as long as one person each time comes out with a new story. We will continue with this story over and over and over again. I will promise you this, my friends. People like Theo Fleury, people like myself, and thousands, millions of other people will come out with their story and help someone. We, as Fleury said, can work together and talk through personal issues that have plagued you, plagued Fleury, plagued me, almost our entire lives. We can do that together, but you need to call me at 844-405-HELP. Let's together help each other take our lives back. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Remember, a simple smile to a total stranger can help them in their lives and can even help yours. Stay in touch with me at 844-405-HELP. Because we can help each other take our lives. And if you're watching me on YouTube right now, remember I'm on iHeartRadio, I'm on iTunes, Spreaker, Google Music. All you need to do in the search bar is go to Ralf Friedrichs' show. That's Ralf Friedrichs' show. Take good care, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye-bye now.